Good afternoon, I'm Dwayne Carpenter, Sports Information Director here at West Virginia Wesleyan College, and joining me for the men's soccer Coach's Corner is head coach Gavin Donaldson. Gavin, thanks for being here.
Thanks, Dwayne.
Last week, your team entered the WVIAC Championships. Your team was ranked 5th. Last Tuesday, you guys traveled up to Greensburg, PA, and knocked off a very good Seton Hill team by a score of 2-0. Can you give us a little detail about that game?
Yeah, I think we just showed up to play this time. Last time we really didn't give the best of efforts, and that's too good a team not to give your best effort against, and they handled us very well the first game. This time we went up there with a little bit different attitude. We actually came out to the gates pretty quickly and really put quite a bit of energy into that game. Fortunately, we were able to score. Again, that's the driving factor with any game. You can play as well as possible, but if you don't put the ball in the back of the net, it can all go for naught at times. But the guys really put together a complete game. Every single one of them came to play, and our only regrets with that game, although it allowed us to move on to the semifinals of the tournament, was that we lost 2 strikers to season-ending knee injuries. And again, you never like to see that happen, and certainly not at that time of year.
Right. Like you said, you advanced, you went in shorthanded against the University of Charleston on the road again in a semifinal matchup, and you guys left Charleston with a 2-0 loss. I know that was a disappointing loss as a season-ending loss. Could you talk just a little bit about that game?
Well, Charleston's a very good team this year. I don't know anybody that's lost it that hasn't felt that way. If they have, they're not seriously giving Charleston the credit they deserve. They're a very good team. Having said that, we were not good on the road this year, and again, we started off fairly well. About 8 minutes into the match, missed a great opportunity. Mike Scruggs put one right off the post, and that could have been a bit of a game changer for us. Having said that, we just really, after that moment, never got a hold of the ball and did the things that we're known for doing. And that's a little bit better possession and attacking the teams. We just never really got ourselves into that rhythm. Part of that's, I'm sure, what Charleston did to us. Questionable goal that we gave up to them, for them to go ahead 1-0 in the first half, and then certainly I'm not going to look at that game ever any more than a 1-0 victory for them, just because we were down to 10 men in the second half for a second yellow card on one of our players. Ended up playing a man short for the last 20 minutes, trying to push up and get the equalizer. And when you take that risk, which you have to, sometimes you pay for it. And we did with a second goal for them. So I'm not sure that the game was really a clear 2-0 advantage for them. Probably 1-0 may have been a little bit more fair of a result, but in either case, they're the better team and proved it on the day.
Right. And your soccer team finished 10-9-2 on this season. You guys will go right into off-season training and workouts right now in preparation for next year. Is that correct?
Yeah, we'll give the guys a few days off before we get into that, but certainly, 9 months won't pass quickly enough for the players that want to get back at it and improve upon what was generally thought of as a disappointing season this year. We had higher expectations. A lot of seniors, we're certainly going to miss them, and they added a lot to this program in the years that they were here, and certainly did well this year, but for many small reasons, we just never really put it together as a team, as not only I, but as the players had hoped for and expected.
I know injuries played a big part in a lot of that this year. It just seems like you guys just never could get everyone healthy at the same time this year.
Well, I think initial eligibility issues, waiting for players to be cleared by the NCAA clearinghouse hurt us certainly. Once Alex Redfern was cleared, he made a huge difference on our team, and we had 2 others that never did that I think would have made a huge difference for us. Having said that, again, we had the personnel we thought to do a pretty good job this year, even with the injuries, which you're right, they seemed to pop up once one got healthy, another went down. So we weren't really the luckiest of teams this year, but still, even with those things considered, I think we probably should have done a little bit better, and we're not going to give excuses. We didn't do well enough, and when it came down to certainly within the conference, we got beat by a good team.
Right. Yeah, Charleston they won the WVIC conference tournament. They beat D&E, so they will. Are they going to move on to the regional tournament, Gavin?
They will. They'll most likely get the 3rd seed in the NCAA's. They're most likely going to be facing number 2 seeded Millersville, who lost their conference championship to Slippery Rock. Slippery Rock should get the top seed and host, oddly enough for Slippery Rock, they'll get the number 4 seed, which will be Mercyhurst, which still have played for the 4th time this weekend, if that matches up. So I think Charleston has a very good chance of representing the conference well this year. I think they're a solid enough team. I've played against 2 of the other teams and felt that Charleston was as good as Millersville and Slippery Rock. I know Slippery Rock beat Charleston by 1 goal earlier this year. But if you really look at that game, Charleston had the better play and just came up short on the scoreboard. So I think Charleston, if they can keep their composure, certainly should give our conference quite a bit of support in showing that it's a pretty tough conference. I think they'll do well.
And it should be noted too, at 10-9-2 record, not all records are created the same. We've mentioned it before, but you went out and scheduled a very good non-conference schedule that featured Northern Kentucky, Millersville, Cal. So you were playing some of the top teams, not only in the region, but in the nation. And I think you deserve a lot of credit for going out and scheduling that way.
Yeah, the guys certainly want that. I'm not sure, to be honest, that I'm going to do that again next year. I'm going to start off a little bit less tough, I think. We'll give Northern Kentucky a break for a year. No, the guys want that competition, and it helps us hopefully later on. Unfortunately, we just seem to not be able to get off the road. If we could have stayed home and played most of our games here, I think we would have been all right, but we just didn't do so well on the road.
Okay, turning our attention to this spring in April, you're going to have an all-years soccer reunion. I know you're very excited about that event. Could you talk about that just a little bit here as we do the final Coach's Corner with you for this year?
Well, in a World Cup year that's coming up with South Africa hosting the World Cup in 2010, we're trying to put together another alumni reunion, but what's going to be unique about this one, and hopefully a little bit special, is that we're trying to bring in all of the alums from 1958, 1959, the years of the program's inception, all the way through those that have graduated just within the last year. We'd like to set a record for alumni participation, and hopefully, with that in mind, we're really going to get 200 to 250 of our past players back. I think that would be certainly something that hasn't been done at another small school for a long time, and we would just like to reintroduce the guys to soccer here and see if we can continue to support them and get their support for our players in the future.
And if anyone's watching is interested in attending, they can certainly give you a call or email you, and you're like you say, you're welcome to bring everyone back.
Absolutely. We welcome everyone and hope to see all the guys from all the different decades.
Okay, well, Gavin, thank you this fall for doing the Coach's Corner. We're sorry your season came to a disappointing end. We'll catch up with you this spring, see how spring ball's going, and see how the event went. So until then, I'm Dwayne Carpenter. This is head coach Gavin Donaldson. We'll see you in the spring.